good evening, everybody. Here we are. We are about to learn about changing over our accounts for the new Inner Wheel year. So those of us that are online here should be anybody that is going into a district or a national role, and anybody who is going into a club role and needs to use the club Google account. We're going to take you through the process for those today. And at the end of this session too, Ariel is going to also explain to us, especially for people who are ISOs here on the call, and everybody should find this interesting and useful to learn about how to do the online service records and to keep your service records going throughout the year. So I'm going to hand over now to our administrator, Ariel, who's going to take us through this session. Away you go, Ariel.
Thanks, Michelle. So for those of you who I haven't had the pleasure to meet either in person or online, I'm Ariel. I'm the Inner Wheel New Zealand administrator. So I've been working with Inner Wheel for about a year now, I guess. As Michelle mentioned, I've recently, well, not so recently, I guess. It's been a few months, but I've moved to Germany. So I'm still working online. So I'm still available to answer any questions, just a quick email away. But now just to get into the Google account. So the Google accounts are quite important to Inner Wheel New Zealand. All of the official IWNZ correspondence goes to these emails. So whether it's a role, a district or national role email, or a club email address, they are very important to keep an eye on. The club Google accounts are also the point of contact for members of the public that are interested in maybe joining a meeting or joining the organization altogether. So it is important to have someone monitoring those emails regularly. So now for the outgoing roles, so people who will be leaving the roles and maybe taking on a new one or not. For the end of the Inner Wheel year, we just ask that you clear out any of your personal emails. So you don't have to clear out the entire email mailbox. If there's any important emails that should stay there for the next person, don't delete them, but just please clear out any personal emails that aren't necessary for the next person that will be taking the role over. Now, for those that will be coming into a new role, I will be resetting all of the passwords for the accounts for roles that are changing. And those account details will be sent to your personal email address, so the one that we have recorded for you on the Inner Wheel website. So I'll be doing that my time, July 1st. So you should be getting the email either in the evening, July 1st in New Zealand, or very early in the morning on July 2nd. So just please bear with me with the time differences, but you will get all your account details sent to you by email. So in that email, I'll also be including the logos that you'll have to add as your new signature. So I'll actually just go over that with you ladies now, just how to update your signature in your account. So if we start off here on the Google homepage, so if you start off and let's say you're logged into your Google account already, I'll go over how to do that a little bit later. But you'll just click on the 9 dots here and then on your Gmail account. And then once your Gmail account loads, this is all the emails for your Google account. You'll just click on the gear in the top corner over here. After that, once it decides to load, you just click on See All Settings. And then just in the General tab, if you scroll down, it's almost down at the bottom of the page. There's a box here, which you can't see very well, unfortunately, because my screen's a bit small. But just this box here is where you can edit your signature. So this is the logos here that I was talking about. So in the email that you'll be sent with your account details, you'll get a new set of logos. And then how you update that is just by clicking on this little picture icon here. So insert images, and then you'll get this pop up here and you'll just click on upload. So you'll just drag the file that I've sent you in the email and download it to your computer. And then you can just drag it onto this box here, or you just select it from your computer where you found it. So then it'll just appear and you can resize it to whatever size you'd like. And just remember to update your name here. So let's say Michelle was taking over my role. I'd then write Michelle Atkinson there. And then just go Just make sure you want to save those changes as well, all the way at the bottom here. So that's it for the signature. So it's pretty straightforward for incoming roles. When it comes to a new person logging into a club account, we'll just ask that you ask your club secretary to get the password and the account details there. If there are any problems, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. As I said, I'm just an email away at admin@iwnz.org.nz. So if there's any problems with logging in, whether it's a role account or a club account, just shoot me an email. And just a reminder for the club emails to not change any of the recovery information. So I will be setting all the recovery emails to my own email. I'll get into that shortly. But please don't add any recovery phone numbers. That'll kind of make it a bit more difficult for other people logging into the same account. Right, so now I'll go through how to add a new Google account. Right, so if we get started again from the Google page here, so just the general Google homepage, in the top right corner, you'll see there's an IWNZ icon. So that's because I'm already logged into the Inner Wheel account. For you ladies, if you have a personal Gmail account, you'll maybe have a picture there, or if you don't have a picture, it'll just be a circle with a letter in it probably. But so to add a new Google account, what you'll do is just click on that circle icon and then click on add another account here. So that'll bring you to login page. Here you'll put in either your role email address or the club email address. In this case, I'm just going to use a club Google email account just to show you how it works. So let's say I want to log into the Mosgiel Google account, put in the email, click next, and then the password. So this is the password that you would have gotten from either from my email that I sent you or from the secretary of your club. And then you click next. So here, this is where I mentioned that we'd like you not to touch any recovery email addresses or any recovery information. So for all of the accounts, I'll set the recovery email to my account. So that's admin@iwnz.org.nz. So the reason for this is that Google has a few security measures and they want you to authenticate yourself when you log in. So to make it easier for everyone to log in and make it easy to remember, I'll set all the recovery email addresses to the admin email address. And then you can just click next. And then you're back on the home page. And then you'll see that the account at the top here is IW Club of Mosgiel. So that just goes to show that I have logged in successfully. If I then wanted to look at my email account, I can either click on the 9 dots here and click on Gmail, or there's the Gmail link just at the top here, and then you can see all of the emails sent to the Mosgiel inbox. That is for the Google accounts. If you need a refresher at any point, you can go into the Inner Wheel New Zealand website. So here you will have to be logged into your personal account using your personal email address on the website. So I'll just quickly demonstrate how to log in there. So when you're on the Inner Wheel homepage, so this is the homepage that the public sees. You can see the last tab here is the service tab. When you're logged into your account, you can actually see another tab called library. So in this case, I don't see that tab. That means I'm not logged in. Another way to check is just to click on the little person icon in the top right corner here. If I'm not logged in, I'll see this login page. So in my case, I'll just log into my other account, my test account. Click login, and then I'll be able to see the library tab here. So this library tab is where there's loads of different resources for Inner Wheel New Zealand members, but also for clubs and various roles. So in our case, for the Google account instructions, you'll just hover on the library tab, then on resources, and then there's a page at the bottom that's called Google account. You'll just click on there, and then you'll see the instructions on logging into Google account. So if you've gone through this, you're still having problems logging in, just send me an email. I can help you out one-on-one if needed. Okay, just a reminder though that you do have to use your personal email account to log in to your Inner Wheel New Zealand account. So that's it for the Google accounts part. I just wanted to check whether there were any questions or anything I might have forgotten, anything like that.
Ariel, just one thing that Hi.
Hi.
One thing I would just clarify with everybody. Some people, so people in clubs, are you going to be sending the club secretary an email or are we just going to leave it so that the club secretary passes on the login details to the next person?
Yeah, so I think the easiest thing there is just to leave it, and the club secretary will pass on the details. I won't touch the passwords or anything there.
Okay.
So it should still be set to the same password that I set ages ago, just so that anyone who needs access to that account can still access it.
And so people coming in on new district roles, like new district chairman, secretaries, vice chairman, all of the roles, who will all have an individual account to log into, and the same with all the national roles. That's who you are going to reset the passwords. Or if people have already done a personal handover, do they need to let you know not to change the passwords on the 1st of July?
Yeah, that's a good point. So if there has already been a changeover, just please send me an email to let me know so I don't change the password. But otherwise, on July 1st, I will be updating the password. So if you can send me an email maybe by June 30th, just to let me know that the changeover was done already between people who will be taking on a national or district role, then I won't touch that password. Thanks, Michelle.
That's good. That's all right.
Can you hear me, Ariel?
Yes, I can.
Oh, it's Gwyneth. I'm losing two roles. I'm losing president's role and secretary's role. I've been doing the two for the last year. Do I have to do anything, or does it? We have been one of the clubs that's done the changeover to the secretary's part. She's logged in now to IWNZ. The president will be logged because she was editor. Do I have to personally get rid of myself somehow?
You can remove the Google account if you want from your Google. So if you just sign out of the Google account on your browser or anything like that, just so you don't get the emails and notifications. But aside from that, no, there's not much you can do if you've cleared all your personal emails.
Okay, but I can carry on if I want to, just as a support really for both the new secretary and the new president.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
Okay, that's lovely. Thank you.
No problem.
There's a question in the chat box from Jill. Jill says, what if you're remaining in the role again? And I believe that is also for a club account. So I think we may have just answered that, but do you want to just clarify that one?
Yeah, so if you're staying as a committee member in your club, nothing changes. You don't have to do anything. If you're remaining in the same district and or national role as well, you don't have to do anything. So I won't be touching your password or anything like that. Just carry on as normal.
One other question I was asked in the weekend from someone who was going off a district role and moving into another role. So they're changing from vice chairman to a chairman's role. They'll have a change of email address. How can they, put you on the spot here, how can they remove the previous persona on Google off their computers and tablets, but then still remain on the new one?
Yeah, I can actually just share the screen with that now. Gwyneth, this will apply to you as well if you wanted to remove the Google account from your computer. So for example, here I'm logged into the Mosgiel account. So if I wanted to remove this account from my computer, I can just click on my profile up top here. And then if I click on sign out of all accounts, that will just remove the account from my computer. So I'm signed out of both of them. If I wanted to completely remove the account, I can click on the remove an account button here, click the Mosgiel one, and then say yes, remove. So that'll just completely remove the Google account from your computer. You won't get any emails. You won't really be able to log into it anymore. So now I'll just move on to the service records. So over the month of, was it in April, we kind of did a soft launch of submitting service records online with a Google form that I created. And so that will kind of just make it easier for the clubs as well as for me as the National Secretary to just put together the service records at the end of the year. So a big thank you, huge thank you to those of you who did try out the Google form. We got some really valuable feedback from the first few that used the Google forms. That was absolutely fantastic. So I'll just show you how to access that. and just walk through how to use it, really. So I'll just share my screen once again. So the way that you access this Google form, again, you have to be logged into your personal account on the Inner Wheel website. So just like for all of the important resources that we have on the website for clubs and members, you'll go on the library tab in the resources and then into club tools. So on this club tools page, we've got a whole bunch of different resources. So I've added a few quick links at the top here just to make it easier for you to navigate on the page. In our case, we're interested in the service records. So you can click on the service records link and it'll just bring you to the right place. I have created a video as well with these instructions that I'll go over with you right now. But if you want a refresher, you don't want to rewatch this whole video again, you can just click on this link at the bottom here and you'll be able to see. Yeah, just to show you a walkthrough of using the online form. So in our case, I'm going to show you how to use the online form. So we'll just click on the first tab here, so the one that says online, and that will bring you to the Google form. So a few important notes for this Google form. We do ask that you be logged into your club account in order to fill out this form. So this form will only let you submit an entry if you're logged into an IWNZ.org.nz email account. So you can't fill out this form using your personal Gmail account, for example. But we do ask that you use your club account. This will just make it a lot easier for us to consolidate all the records at the end of the year. So we've also added a few guidelines here at the top of the form just to help you in filling it out. And what I'll do now is I'll actually just show you an example of entering a donation, for example, from your club. So let's say I'm in the AOTIA club. So I'll select that club here at the top, select the district as well, so I'm at 291. So here let's say it's a donation to Look Good, Feel Better. So I'll select that. If your charity that you're donating to isn't in this list, you can click in the other, select the other option here and just add it in. So let's say it's for the Auckland Hospital. I could just add that in there and select that. If you're entering a fundraiser, you'll just have to select this first option here. In our case, it's a donation to Look Good, Feel Better. That was quite a roundabout way of getting there. But so I'll select the Look Good, Feel Better option there. Here, this is a donation from the charity account. So I'll add that in here as the brief details. There's a few examples of other activities your clubs might be entering here. So it's just a brief, just a brief description of what you're doing. Here we've got the option of adding an ongoing activity. In this case, it's a one-off donation, so we don't have to worry about that. And this is the club level project. Let's just put it there. For the service categories, it's the same ones as in the spreadsheet that you have to fill out. So I won't go over that too much, other than to say we've got the descriptions at the top here in case you need a quick reminder. In this case, we'll select status of women. For a donation, the volunteer hours spent doesn't apply, neither does the number of recipients. Total dollar value of goods donated also doesn't apply because it's a monetary donation that we're doing. Here, no money was raised. It's just a donation from the charity account. So it's nice and easy. The only field we have to fill out is the bottom one. So let's say we donated $500 and then we'll just click submit. And then you'll receive an email automatically just to confirm your submission. So this email is good to just keep for your own records, but it'll also have a link to edit your response. So if once you've filled it out, you've realized, oh, I made a mistake, we actually donated $550. It's easy enough to just click on edit your response, either from this page here or from the email address, and just scroll down and update the field that you need to update and then submit again. And then on my end, I'll see the updated version, the final version that you've submitted. And then to submit another response, you can just click on submit another response here, and it'll just show you a new blank form. So it's relatively easy to fill out. There's a lot of fields. So if you do get a little bit mixed up, just don't worry about it. Just send me an email. I can also help you out, or watch that video I made as well. We do encourage clubs to fill this out more regularly than just at the end of the year. So the idea behind this is that your ISO at a committee meeting could just have this form on her phone or on her tablet, on her computer, and just fill out the activities as they're being reported essentially at every meeting. So it'll just make it a lot easier for the clubs to keep track of everything. It'll save a lot of time at the end of the year as well. You don't have to have one person collating everything quickly to send it through to national before the deadline of the 31st of May. Are there any questions about this form or
Yes,
anything I may have missed?
We have one that's just come up in the chat box. So Hubri from Howick has written that she can't sign in. It tells me to get permission.
So usually that's because you're not using an IWNZ.org.nz email address. So if you can see the form, but you're not able to submit it, you can just click on switch account here and then switch to the inner wheel account.
I can't even get to that point. I go in through the Google account and I use the ISO account and I use the Howick Club account, and I still, it keeps on telling me to get permission.
The account is at howick@iwnz.org.nz.
Yep. And it tells me to get permission.
It's the admin person has to fix that. That's you.
That would hardly be something you want to spend time on tonight, would it?
No.
Because she said to get.
So
you're not able to see the form at all?
No, not at all. It doesn't allow me to go into that form. It stops immediately. I go in where you go to go online. I get to go to the online, and immediately when I click on that, it goes to you need permission. So I'm probably
from the link
wrong
on this page.
Yep. When I click on that,
The hardest bit
it
is
tells me to ask permission.
deciding how much you do for.
I'll have to look into that, I think, offline. Yeah, I'm not sure why. So you should be able to see this form with an IWNZ.
I'll try it again.
Okay, what I can also do is just send you the link to the form as well directly to your email and see if that changes anything as well. If you're able to access it, maybe it's the link on the website that your computer is not liking, and we'll have a look at that.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Ariel, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Can you hear me? I was just going to ask, for an example, if we were raising a raffle, money with a raffle, say, and you know, do we submit the amount that the raffle cost, or the amount of the raffle plus how much money we raised, and what, say, the money is just going into the slush fund at the stage, we haven't got a specific charity to give that money to, do we, like, for example, if we're running a raffle, does that get submitted on the service record entry form?
Yeah, so that's actually a very good point.
Yeah.
I can actually go through an example of
Thank you. And
if that suits you, that might be easier. It might answer questions.
Do we have to submit the amount that the raffle would be in cost, like the cost of the raffle, if it was donated, or if we bought it, or whatever, as well as the money raised? But it's not specifically going to say a specific charity. It just might be going into the slush fund for future use down the track.
Yep. No, so that's all, that will all be submitted through this form as well.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, so I'll go through an example there. So I'll just, for the sake of simplicity, I'll just use Aotea again. So here, so it's a raffle, you're hosting a raffle. So that falls into general fundraiser. So that's the option that you'll select here. So rather than selecting a specific charity, you'll be selecting this option here. So this option is only to be used for general fundraisers, but also if a certain activity involves multiple charities. And then here we do have the instruction that I've added into this field here to select none as the service category below. So if we just scroll down here, so here I'll just put in a raffle fundraiser. It's not an ongoing activity. And then I'll just put at the club level once again. So here in the service category, that's where we'll select none. So this option, none, should only be used for general fundraisers here. So that's how we know on our end that it's not going directly to a specific charity. So it's by selecting this service category and also the charity information at the top as well of just a general fundraiser. So here, if you can add the volunteer hours spent to set up the fundraiser. So let's say it was 15 hours altogether. The number of recipients for raffle that for a fundraiser, sorry, that doesn't apply. The total value of goods donated also doesn't apply. And this is where your other question came in. So here in this field, you enter the total dollar value raised less any expenses incurred. So let's say we raised $1,000, but the raffle, we spent $200 on setting up the raffle and prizes and whatnot. So in this field here, you'd put in $800 and not $1,000. And then finally, the total amount donated would be the exact same as the previous field, so $800 as well. And then you just click submit. Does that answer that question or the couple of questions?
I was just wondering, in that previous field where it's got value of goods donated and say the raffle was donated, can we not add it in there? Yes, there. Can we not add it to
this field here?
Yes.
So this is more for the total value of goods. So if you're donating goods, let's say knitted hats or something like that, that falls into this field here, if I'm not mistaken, Michelle. Whereas if it's money that's being donated, that's when you use this field here.
So, sorry, Ari, I don't want to hold you up, but for example, if someone donated, say, a quilt to be raffled, or some pamper goods or whatever, can we not put it in this value of goods donated then? Or
technically you will have already calculated that by removing the costs off there before you record it as a so the total value raised less the expenses incurred. So the expenses incurred are what you've already taken off. We don't need to know how much it cost you to buy the raffle.
You don't necessarily buy it though.
But what I would do is if somebody is donating a quilt, I would do a separate entry for them as another service record, because the amount of time and effort and money spent in creating that quilt can be entered as a separate service record.
Okay.
It can be counted that way.
All right. Thanks, Michelle.
So you do it twice.
Makes sense.
Are there any other questions about service records?
Ariel,
Yeah.
can you see? I don't know. You can't see it there, but this is the screen that comes up when I try to go in.
I can't find Hubri on the form here.
I don't know if you can see me.
Oh, yeah. I will spotlight you. Ariel's on screen share at the moment, so we can't see both at the same time.
Ariel, I think I know what the problem is, because I just decided to give it a try on behalf of the rest of the group. So
thank you.
That's all right. When you log into Inner Wheel New Zealand, we would have logged in on our own personal emails. And I know before you showed us that we have to be like, in my case, NZ297 vice chair, so to put anything into the service record. So where do you switch your email again? I think that's the problem, because I get the same screen.
Okay, so for the Google accounts, the Google accounts are separate from the website accounts. I know that doesn't make things easy, but logging into the Inner Wheel account, so on this page here, on the Inner Wheel website, that's with your personal account. For Google, which is where the form lives, essentially, this service record form lives in Google. You need to be logged into your @IWNZ account.
Okay.
So that's here where if you're on the Google homepage, and this is where you want to make sure that in this little circle here, you see the IWNZ logo. So if I don't have my personal account on this browser, but if you had a personal account, you wouldn't see this inner wheel logo here, and you wouldn't see the your inner wheel account here. You'd see, my case would be Ariel Beaudry with my name.
Okay, so that needs to be the Howick account.
Correct.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
That is probably the problem.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no problem. So if you are logged into another account, if you haven't already added the inner wheel account, you can just click on add another account here, or if you have already added it, it should appear in the list here, just above the add another account. Then you should be able to see the form and everything.
Okay, thank you. I'll try that.
No problem at all. Sweet.
Brilliant. Any more questions? Okay. Do you want to stop sharing your screen, Ariel? So we'll get the grid format. Excellent. Yep. So I've got Hubri on. I'll take you off Spotlight. I'll remove Spotlight for everyone. So, ladies, we have had a really good run through, and Ariel's been really good at taking us through those. Are there any more questions on anything to do with handing over accounts or your service records? Brilliant. Oh, there's a hand gone up there. If you've got Sue.
Yeah, just to do with the club service one online. In 2 places it asks about number of members. Well, one of them says number of members, which is obviously 40 or whatever. The other one just says members. Are we supposed to put the number again, or are we supposed to list the members, given that it's a club history? So that's a history form.
Oh, sorry, that's your club history form, not the club service record. On your club history form, I think we just need the number of members.
In both places, okay.
Sorry, I'm just looking at the form now.
I was just looking at that online. That's a different one.
It's just when we were doing it manually, we were listing their names as well, and so yeah.
So in this form, I'll actually just screen share it just so everyone can see. It might just make things easier. So is this the section that you're referring to? Okay, perfect. So here you just have to put in the number of members. So let's say
that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the club sub. So that's how much it costs. So here, this is where you write in members' names if they've been awarded the honored active membership. Same with the honorary members. You just list the members and then any additional.
That's just for this year.
There was another page that just said members, nothing to do with honorary or active. I don't know whether.
Do you remember which page it was on? Because this is going to be 4 pages. If you.
It might have been on. Might have been on 2. I don't know.
Okay, I'll fill it out here, and then we can.
Yep. Sorry.
Walk through it. No, it's all right. This is great for everyone as well, just to see this form. So this is the first page. Click next. It's on the second page.
Oh, yep.
So this is their names that go into these fields here.
Yep. No, that's all straight. That was all straightforward.
Okay, good. That's good
so
to hear.
that other one said back there membership. If you just go back up again, so it doesn't say membership numbers. That's
No, that's for the person who holds the membership.
Oh, sorry, no. Okay, yep. My mistake. Keep going.
No, that's all right. No, that's good to know, because we can. Is there a different name that you think, or something that should be added to clarify it?
No, now Michelle says it, but just go one more page for me, please.
I have a question.
Yeah, of course.
Wendy.
I'm taking on ISO, and for some of the stuff there, I noticed it had club editor and mentioned ISO. Where do I need to put information in there?
You don't need to fill that in. That before, that club history sheet that Sue was talking about
Yes.
is what every club president or secretary fills in at the end of the year, and it
Right.
gets sent to
Thank you,
the
Michelle.
national secretary.
Yeah.
So as a club role, you don't need to worry about
No,
that.
I thought that would be the case, but I thought I'd check.
Unless
Thank
you're
you.
club president or secretary.
Yes, I've been there, done that, but I'm going to ISO this time. Thank you.
That's all right. Any more questions while we've got Ariel here? There's a hand gone up, Joan.
Yeah, this isn't probably relevant, but the last time I sent out the bulletin, our club's bulletin, I BCC'd it as usual, and it comes up on the screen who it's going to, and half a dozen people didn't get it. Why is that?
I don't know.
Have these people gotten the bulletins in the past?
Yes, and it just happened in the last week, 2 weeks. And you can scroll down and see, even after I sent it, I could still see who it has supposedly gone to. And I always send one to my personal account as well, so I know.
Okay. It might have gone into their spam or junk folder.
Well,
so sometimes the email.
Yes. I asked them to check that, and I resent it, but
Okay.
they hadn't found it in their spam or bins.
I always go into the one I previously sent out and click on the information, which, because I always send it BC, and just bring it up that way as to how it was sent, and then I copy, paste, and when I'm sending out the next one.
So you don't send it as the group that you've
I
got?
send it as the group. I send it to all the members.
Yes, but you send
instead
it.
of, well, I have been sort of typing each one separately, but I suddenly thought there must be a quicker way to do it.
Oh.
And I thought, oh, wait a minute, if I go into the previous one and bring up all the information I needed, and by clicking on the end of the line, it brings up their emails. I click on that, and then I copy it, paste it, and make sure it's BC. And then away I go with copying the newsletter into the thing, and usually making some sort of remark of what's been happening, and carrying on, and it seems to go through all right, except one particular member who's doesn't whether she's not clearing her account or not, I'm not sure, but that's everybody's getting it.
So Joan, I'm afraid I don't know the answer to that, and it's something that is occasionally there are gremlins in systems.
Yes.
That are beyond our control. So if it's not in their junk or spam mail,
well, I did ask.
Then it may be a case of just having to resend.
I've done that, yes. But you don't know, do you, until somebody complains they haven't received it, and then
of course
you've got to ring them all.
Now, are there any more questions while we have Ariel online? Okay.
Ellie, is that a hand raise?
I was just going to say, there was a night that I was at Michelle's house, and there was an email that came through, and my name was on the email as well, and everybody received it but me. So I don't know why these things happen, but it's just a fluke, I think, more than anything else. Just go show that not everything you think is that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, ladies, this is the last of our digital ed sessions for this in a wheel year. So I do hope you've found them useful, and the resources are there still all online. The placement of the recordings from the sessions this year is going to change slightly, but they are still all going to be online within the resource section within the library. So you'll still be able to go back and see things. Ali's got plans and ideas for the year ahead, so you'll find out more as the year progresses. But I've had a wonderful time sharing knowledge and inner wheel tools and tips with you all throughout this year, and I hope you've found them useful. We are always here. Ariel or someone is here to answer your questions. So please don't fret about technology. If you don't get it or don't understand it, please reach out and get assistance, because we are here to help you. So thank you for taking part in these sessions this year. Thank you, Ariel, for giving your time today and for getting us all set up for these. And for those of you finishing your roles, thank you and good luck. For those of you that are taking on new roles, I hope you find them really rewarding and exciting for the year ahead too. And please don't stress over the technology. As I said, we're here to help. So I'll just close this recording off now.